artists who are not here to register in the minds. We are here to touch the hearts of people.
Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters from South Africa and across the world, we're back with another great episode. I'm your host, the one, the only Darren Roof van Rensburg. And yes, we are celebrating the life of a legend, the life of a theatre doyant. Kirayana, the one, the only, Mahuma Paul Rapetsoa, known affectionately to most of us as Bra Paul. Today, ladies and gentlemen, I have a beautiful couple that have been together for 30 plus years. Darren, back in our day, I went to their wedding in 92. Their wedding was lovely, lovely, lovely. I wasn't born yet. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm with the beautiful Mr. and Mrs. Lamola. How are you? Your smiles are so... My God, stop it, I like it. Stop it, I like it. How are you, my leaders?
Yeah, okay, Darren, how about you?
Cannot complain. Mama, how are you?
Darren, I'm good, and you?
Cannot complain, very happy. But let's go straight into it. But when was the first time you heard the name Mahuma Paul Rapetsoa? I'll start with you, Bra Steve.
Oh, Darren, it's a long time. In the 80s, while we were listening to the radio Leboa.
Now known as Thobela FM,
now
correct?
Known as Thobela FM.
Indeed.
Now, there was this gentleman, Bra Paul.
You
know, I come from here in Seshowe, Zone 1. And by then, in the 80s, when I heard about Bra Paul on the radio, I was staying with my family. I come from a large family. And we all loved Bra Paul. You know, when he was supposed to get to his program, we all call one another, Bra Paul is coming, Bra Paul is coming.
Yes.
You know, the gospel program, Bra Paul.
Yes.
We loved it in the family. Plus, I come from a Christian family. My father was a conductor of music at the church. So we'll call one another to listen to the gospel.
Let me look at 1986. And I can't go with John, let me be on what's ever had in Navigating drama. I was a drama producer. Yale, Kile Caratory meeting, what's about Maomolo Murchara Copano, Yawala Kamanano Atlan. Manana to Magadi Wancha, April. But it Taka Kanyurna, Kildan Lifil Kamana, Low and Garlica Chapetoro, Mo Thobela FM. So Naga is a sad. Kareman, Kinalana Loring, Kinalona Kinagana Lekaba Namo station in Sarena. Many have never eliminated Lemmer. Pit Lemmer. And about Rapetsoa, Karukono Klinkaka Kanyu Yaore, Lenano Lilewana, Highway, Hotel Toma, for just for 3 months. After 3 months, reform, Marcaro, Kushaore, He only Duma, or Litera House. Karahagnabtat. Margli di Rio up, Wata Tavalina. Chiapopla, Max Mujapelo, Ara level big boy, big boy. The Nana Ole was a little coming out, a caracava for my work. That's it.
You will play his music, and the music that he was used to play is American gospel, and we love that one in the family.
Indeed.
We love the likes of Reverend James Cleveland.
Indeed.
Andre Crouch, the Hawkins.
Yes.
In the male part, and in the female part, the Shady Caesars, Aretha Franklin. He would be playing Bra Paul.
Indeed.
All those people.
That song, even like the William Brothers, I'm just a nobody. I'll never forget.
I'm just a nobody, trying to tell everybody about somebody who can save anybody.
The group that he loved most, the Mighty Clouds of Joy.
The mouth.
Somebody lay down in the cold, but I got one thing you can't take. So will y'all come down for me just a little bit?
Mama Nelly, please do tell us, when was the first time you heard the name Mahuma Paul Rapetsoa?
I had the name Mahuma Paul Rapetsoa
Yes.
over the radio.
Yeah.
Radio Leboa.
Yeah.
By then, that is when we had the Leboa being an independent state.
Indeed.
By then, before this democracy.
Very true.
So that is when I heard about Mahuma Paul Rapetsoa. Okay, fine. I heard about it. What happened is we came here to Zone 4.
Yeah.
I heard that Mahuma Rapetsoa is staying very close to us.
Yeah.
One day we met.
Yeah.
As we met with Bra Paul, we introduced one another.
Yeah.
And he said to me, but you know what? Your face looks familiar to me. I said, what, Bra Paul? He said, you know, my hometown is Mahwelereng.
Yeah.
And there's a family which is our neighbor. A neighbor, we've got a neighbor, the Ledwaba family.
Yeah.
You have a similar features, the same as that of one member of the family from Ledwaba.
Yes.
I asked, where do they live? He said, number 1. At number 1, Mahwelereng.
Yeah.
I said, wow. That's my uncle. That's my uncle's place. He says, no, that place, we are just very close to one another. We are neighbors.
Indeed.
Oh, no, the Ledwaba blood is very strong. You look like them. That is when we got to know each other when I was here when we stayed together here.
In Seychelles.
In Seychelles.
That's lovely.
Then he started to say, now we are one big family.
Indeed, indeed.
And you know, he used to call me Waneso.
Hey.
We are one big family. And I was saying, yes, we are.
Indeed.
It comes from far.
Very true, Mom.
Yes.
Very true. Before we go any further, I want us just to go 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 20 seconds, depending on how the song makes us feel. But Ntate Lamola spoke about a song. It's called From the Mighty Clouds of Joy. It's called Walk Around Heaven. I'm just going to play for it a bit. We're just going to listen to it and just reminisce.
One of these mornings, it won't be long. You'll look for me, and I'll be gone. I'm going to a place I'll have nothing to do, but just walk around heaven all day.
I'm following me, say,
Yamunagana re ke nna Mahuma. Ba re ke nna Mahuma Paul Rapetsoa. Re ya o leboga mo Leboa station ka mo Limpopo province. Beautiful, beautiful.
You know, this song reminds me of Bra Paul.
Indeed, indeed, indeed.
And
It's a very beautiful song. It was definitely his taste.
Yes, and it talks a lot, especially after he left this world, and I can feel Paul's love for the song was indeed great.
Indeed, indeed. But I'm sure the song takes you back to your memories as well, growing up Kamuzunwan.
Of course, and I know my family, my siblings, when they'll be watching this,
Yes.
they'll be proud, they'll be happy. Oh, Steve, how did you come about this?
Indeed.
And then that was Bra Paul.
Lovely, lovely.
You know what, Darren? That was the virtual part where I knew Bra Paul. Then came the time when we met physically now.
And please do tell me, Bra Steve, when you met Bra Paul, How was his energy around him? Like Mama just said, the first time you met him, how was his energy? Because we all know Bra Paul to be a very energetic individual, very charismatic, if I should say so myself. How was your first time meeting him?
No, very energetic, especially after introducing myself introducing to him, and then Bra Paul and Eva, and then from there we get to know one another.
Indeed.
And then he called my wife one is
Eh.
now he will call me Steve.
Thank you.
Steve all the time. We met Steve this and that, and then our relationship was very, very, very cordial and close.
That is beautiful.
And it was so nice. Yeah.
That's beautiful. Mama Nelly, Matume Rapetsoa is the founder of Mahuma Group and all of these subsidiaries. Do you think Mahuma Group is doing enough to keep the name Mahuma Paul Rapetsoa alive?
You know it does.
Eh.
We are a long way from knowing each other also with Matome. You know, Matome is one kind of a person who is very kind and lovely. We were frequenting this house, this Matora house. We were frequenting it. We were just with another group, organizing ourselves, trying to organize a radio station. And I approached Matome. I said, you know what, we want to start a radio station, but we don't have a place to hold our meetings. He said, no. The place is available for you to can use.
Yes.
Then he gave us the boardroom. Whenever we had the meetings, we would just come in here and he would just say, you know, I wish this thing of yours could be a success.
Indeed.
Because I have this in mind, but I didn't know how to can start. But ever since you are trying to make such a thing, I think you are welcome. Well, the name of the station was Polokwane Radio. Unfortunately, we are still having some glitches. It doesn't merely connect, but we think finally it will, because there are some other things which are preventing it to go on. Matume will always say, how far are you? How far are you? Then we would say, we are getting there, though we are having some glitches, but we know, you know, we'll get there finally.
Indeed.
Said that will be my best day if you go on air.
Yes.
Then that's, you know, that's how we used to be with each other. We would communicate, and then when he is here, I will say, you know what, Matume, it's hi man ka khale ko bona. Mama, you know. But I'll be here, and
Indeed.
I'm here for you.
Indeed, indeed.
Yes.
That's beautiful, Mama. That's beautiful. I know Matume Rapetsoa as well to be a very supportive individual of projects and people as a whole. And I think that was also one of Bra Paul's biggest attributes to people. Would you agree with that, Bra Steve?
100%. You know, the Matora house, because I saw this house coming from the ground.
Indeed.
Brick and mortar.
Indeed.
We used to stand around in front of this Matora house with Bra Paul or even Matome. I mean, looking at the progress to until it is the house that we are in now. And then the legacy, like the Matora, keeping this Matora project moving. I saw it, you know, I've been working at one of the parastatal of the government. There's one, I'm not sure if I can mention it, that I saw the group Matome Production and whatever, keeping that parastatal alive. I don't know if I can.
You are more than allowed to mention it.
You see, the post office, I've been there in the post office.
Yes.
And I'm happy when I see you guys, the Matome team, the Matoras and Get Down Production, and promoting that company that I worked for many years.
Indeed.
And I say, Matome, you are doing a great job. And again, the Matora House, maybe on weekends I can see you are an unearthing talent.
Indeed.
Young kids coming here to train and doing all this thing in the arts facility.
That's true.
I'm so happy about it.
That's lovely. Mahuma Group is definitely one of the through-the-line agencies, actually one of the best through-the-line agencies in South Africa, and Post Bank is definitely one of our clients. Thanks for that, Ntate Lamola. But please tell me, before you leave and before we end this part of it, what would your favorite, what would you say rather to Bra Paul right now, if you had a chance to, if you'd look at that camera and just tell us what words, if you got one more chance to say something to Bra Paul, what would it be?
I'll say, Bra Paul, don't worry, your legacy is continuing. I remember when you opened the Matora House, I was jokingly talking to Bra Paul. Bra Paul, you know, it reminded me of the Dokey House in Johannesburg. He said, Steve, how did you know about the Dokey? I say, I remember the guys, Gibson, Kentes, and the Bonkenis of this world. You started with them. And I'm happy that Matome and his group are keeping your legacy alive. And I'm happy. I'm just extremely happy. And I say, wherever you are, Bra Paul, you are watching your kids and us, the neighbors. We are proud to be next to the Matora House. And if I were the councillor, I would christen this street the Matora House Street. Thank you.
Lovely, lovely. Definitely a beautiful thing to think about, Bra Steve. Mama Nelly, what would your words be to Rahul Bra Paul?
I'm glad that we are still one big family. And I appreciate you. And I appreciate your love. And you know, what I will always say to him, that, you know, you remind me of your laughter. When it takes a long time for myself not seeing you, as soon as I hear your voice, I'll just open up my gate and come and greet you. You know that.
Indeed.
And you will be happy with me and say, ngwana re show up ke sa go bone. So those are the things I would tell him, that, you know, it's good that we see one another each time and again. I loved you so much, Bra Paul, and I'm happy your memories are still with us. And I'm happy that the legacy is growing, and I think it will also go even to your great children. That's all I can say.
That's highly appreciated. From our side, Mama, there was no way I was going to allow you to come and leave without anything. This is just a small gift, which is the Paul Rapetsoa Legacy T-shirts that you can wear and also show that you are definitely taking the legacy of Bra Paul forward one way or another. From not only from me as Darren Roof and Rensbeck, the host, but from the CEO and founder of the company Mahuma Group, Mr. Matome Rapetsoa.
Thank you very much. This is much appreciated.
Thank you very much, Mama. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters from South Africa and across the world at large, thank you very much for watching another great episode of Paul Rapetsoa Legacy Extravaganza Month.
Good, I got you. I'm glad I got something. Do you have something that can't nobody? Let me tell you what I got. Let me tell you. Oh!